So prisoners abroad service users face a very particular type of dislocation on arrival in the UK. They've been deported quite often from a country they were living in for much of their lives. Some people have emigrated as very young children, but never achieved citizenship of the country they were living in. They still remain British citizens, and they're deported back to the UK, where they have quite often no existing links to services, no access to housing, quite often no family or friends in the UK.
I was arrested in 2014 and sentenced to 7 years in federal prison. It was devastating, really. America was my home, and I'd been there for quite a long while, actually 30 years, being told I can no longer live there, can't visit, nothing. And I was not looking forward to coming back to the UK.
I left Britain when I was 8, resided in America for 45 years. I've got 2 brothers, 2 sisters, 2 kids, 4 grandbabies, my mom and dad, my whole family, everybody's there.
I was arrested in 2005. I was given a 15-year sentence. So from 16 to 31, I was always just in a high security prison. When I was told that I was being deported, I was devastated. I knew I would be homeless. I knew I wouldn't have anything because my family wasn't American. That's who I left behind.
I called my consulate, and they hooked me up with prisoners abroad, and they sent me information and paperwork immediately. I mean, they was really on the job. And it calmed me down quite a bit, calmed my mom down. She knew that I had help when I got here, because otherwise I'd had nobody at all. No family, no friends, nowhere to get around. I mean, I'd have, without a doubt, been homeless, without a doubt.
Imagine coming from another country that you don't know where you're going, what's going to happen to you. Your first concern is that you are going to be on the streets without accommodation. So that's the first thing we assure them of, that they will not be street homeless.
One of my biggest concerns was getting back to the UK and having nothing and nowhere to live, and just being homeless or being on the street. I'd been in touch with prisoners abroad from quite early on in my sentence, and I got a reply saying, look, we're going to help you. You're not going to be on the street. You are going to be okay. Don't worry. We're here. That's what we do. And honestly, it was a big relief. And also with the newsletter, there were all the stories about how people have been helped and how they'd been given housing.
If it wasn't for prisoners abroad, I would just be on the street. I didn't have anyone. All my family's back in America. So if I would have came from Heathrow, there would be nowhere to turn to. I mean, it was actually hard, even being incarcerated, to make a phone call, to even set up anything. We didn't have internet access. There was nothing that I could set up, even if I wanted to set it up.
Many of our service users would not be arriving back in the UK with their own phone or their own smartphone. So one of the ways that we've adapted since the beginning of the lockdown was to create arrival packs for people coming back into London and who would be seeking to resettle in London. That arrival pack would include a smartphone with a SIM card and a UK phone number and some credit. We have a free phone number, so someone is able to phone our free phone number and speak to a member of the resettlement team. In that arrival pack, we also included a lot of paperwork with key information about what we do and about what the process will be for resettling in the UK.
They fully supported me. I mean, a roof over my head, food in my belly. They donated some clothes and stuff to me because I didn't really have, a coat, the coat that I'm wearing now. I just couldn't have made it without prisoners abroad. I just couldn't. I would definitely be destitute and in the street begging.
As soon as you get back, it's a whirlwind of stuff going on. You've got all this stuff to do. You've got to get your national insurance number, you've got to get a bank account, you've got to do all this stuff, and it's incredibly busy. And every day you're getting a step closer to feeling like a regular, productive member of society again. And that process is really helped along by the help that prisoners abroad give you. I can't imagine doing that on your own. I just can't. I don't think it would be possible.
You know, I remember getting out, I had nothing, no food. I didn't even have any clothes. My shoes, because I was gone so long, the shoes my family sent me with were too small. I didn't know how to use Google Maps. I didn't know how to use anything that these people are using today. This stuff was not even out. I don't even know how to explain it, how important it is that I just wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for prisoners abroad.